Well, good morning, everybody. I think we're doing a close-up. And today we are in the kitchen, well, the dining area anyway, with Till. This is Till. She came out today to explore around a little bit. I put her on the kitchen table. I don't think she's climbed up here on her own yet, but there was a piece of chicken here for her, she's just finished. Chicken, yeah, she really likes the chicken, in fact. I think she was asking for it just before I put her up here. Incredibly long tail. So she's been coming out more often. Oh, hang on, I can't follow her until I get my coffee. This is very important. This is my first one, and oh man, I'm feeling it. Anyway, she's been going around more and more often. She does really well. She's just like you would expect from a mom cat who's setting her boundaries. So, you know, there's hisses and there's smacks, but she's not serious about it. I guess I don't know how to quantify that for somebody who's not super familiar with cats. You know, if you wanted to be able to tell whether your cat's serious about it or not. But you can tell. Maybe I would be able to tell you what to look for if I weren't still, I don't know, 1 inch into my first coffee this morning. Oh. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about, where he came up and sniffed her, and she was like, no, I don't want that. And then that was the end of the interaction. If it were a problem, she would have chased him after that and continued to be upset. So that was just a good, like, this is the only way that a cat knows to say, back off, I'm not your friend yet. Of course, she's going to go down into the parts of the house that I don't want to film. That's the bathroom and the litter box down there. Guess we can give her a second and look at... Oh, hi! Look at somebody else. This is Raindrop. Hi, Raindrop. Raindrop had her spay last week, and she's been doing great since. She is super friendly and still needs an adopter. As far as I know, I should say. I qualify that with as far as I know, but I'm pretty sure she does. She and her two sisters and Serenity and now Wellington and Squall are Wellington and Squall had their pre-graduation work today and will be getting their surgeries next week and ready to go home next week. I'm really not ready for it for any of them. This whole class has been extra special, but Wellington and Squall more than anybody for obvious reasons. And next week, I can't believe it. I'm still in denial. I really am. Like, my brain just doesn't really believe it. I can keep saying it, but the fact isn't registering yet. So, speaking of, there's little Wellington. Wellington, by the way, has been, he's in the very Tommy stage of his adolescence right now. Not just the way he looks, but when he plays, sometimes he gets extra bitey. So here is, that's Till back there by the wall, and then we've got 4 kittens in the room, all 100% focused on her. This is normally a pretty tense situation because she's trapped herself at the back of the room, and she's going to have to pass some of them to get out again. So I always keep an extra careful eye when I know there's multiple cats and she's not ready to be their friend, and she's put herself into a corner, basically. You got to watch out real careful for that because that can raise the stress level real fast. Looks like she's okay, though. Toddy says, why don't you adopt one? I think that was addressed to me, but maybe it was one of the other chatters. Assuming it was me, though, that's a fair question, but there's some good answers to it. I don't know if I'll have time to elucidate them entirely. The shortest answer, of course, is that if we keep adopting kittens, every kitten we adopt takes away the bandwidth I have to deal with a foster. Because, you know, if I adopt a cat, I keep it for 20 years, you've got to actually multiply that by the number of single cats I could have fostered during that 20 years, right? So if you look at it that way, if I adopt one cat, it actually hurts I'd say conservatively, 50 to 75 other cats I could have fostered with that same amount of energy. If you just want to do the math on it really simply, that's the way. There's other reasons, of course, but I think that's the primary one. Yeah, also what Andrea Chu says, it's the ones that are the best. I hate to say the best. That's ridiculous. And I know Andrea Chu was joking when you said can't keep all the good kittens. I know that's a joke, but because they're all good kittens. Of course they are. But it's the ones that are especially likely to get adopted quickly, I guess, that are the worst ones for us to decide to adopt ourselves, because they'll find a good house. It doesn't have to be ours. That's the real concern here. It's like what they say about true love, It's one of those things where it's not that we want the cat to be in our life, it's that we want the cat to have the best life it can have for itself. And if that happened to be with us for some reason, then sure, we would adopt them. But I think in general, it's actually not with us. I think that once they've been fostered, their owner can give them much more personal care and form a much deeper relationship over the course of the next 20 years, It's a whole different level of relationship that they have with their owners. Raindrop is such, like I said, the social kitty, and she is trying so hard to make friends with Till, and Till is she's not there. Yeah, Jedi Senshi, you're right. Till she's pretty thin right now. Of course, mom cats typically go through this stage where, she lost a bunch of weight making the kittens, and now she's continuing to lose a bunch of calories feeding the kittens. But she'll be over it soon. We'll go up and see them in a minute, and you'll see they're 2 weeks old now. And they've all got their eyes open. And so she's halfway there, because it's about 4 weeks that we would expect for them to start eating on their own. And then she can finally start to put on some of that weight. I don't know if she's typically a heavy cat, but I suspect that she is kind of a big, heavy cat most of the time. So I don't know what that little spot is on top of her head. Oh, sorry. I know you're tense. It looks like, I can't even decide if it's like she got a scratch or if it's just a color spot. It looks like a scratch, though. An old scratch, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to get a closer look at it when she's not on edge, trying to protect herself from all the cats that might come around. She's really in caution mode right now. But at least she doesn't mind the other cats sniffing around as long as they don't try to come right up on her. That's a real good sign. That's basically the point where Puddles was and where Puddles remained, where a lot of mom cats like Nibbles will start that way, and then after enough repeated introduction, she starts to realize, okay, these kids aren't too bad. I guess I can be their friend. And stops being so growly. Did you hear that growl from her just now? She was warning Squall, who was starting to make a move. So that was a distant, don't even think about it, kid. So, yeah. Anyway, she is a little on edge, and when she is so much you guys all know how it is, when you are sort of in that stress mode where you're watching out on every corner, it wears you down real quick. So after a few minutes of that, I like to take her back whether she needs it or not. I do think she needs it because she's just going to get more stressed. So that's the way we spread it out. We do a little bit of a meeting until she starts to get so stressed that she's growling at kittens from a distance. Excuse me, I had to have a sip of coffee. Then we put her back in her room. We do it again, and we do it again, and we do it again. And every time it takes a little longer for her to reach that I'm too stressed out and growly stage. Eventually, she can just stay out forever because they're friends, and she never hits that stage. She's comfortable with it. So that's how you do. I know, kids. Can you hear them all talking? I just wanted to come back out for some hand sanitizer. Okay. Now, we gotta weigh these babies, and I gotta put this hand sanitizer on. I need you guys to hang on for just a second. Uh-oh, how do I do this? I don't want you to miss the fact that these little kittens come running, especially, yep, just the one we would expect. That is Doubloons, who's always the one that wants to come out and yell at me first. Started the trend, in fact, for this class. Okay, but I did just put on the hand sani, so it smells real bad. And they're not going to like me for that. Let's give them 1 second. Yeah, I was saying about Till. Yeah, then she is pretty skinny then for her size, though. She's got a big head and a big body. Like she's physically, like her frame is bigger than most of the mom cats that we see, even though her weight right now is about the same. So I do think she's probably going to turn out to really start to bulk up what she's not feeding the kittens, but we'll see. Only one way to know for sure. So these are the two that so far have been, I guess you could say, the most social. At this age, they don't really know what they're doing, but these are the two that always seem to respond when they hear me. So this is Doubloons and Farthing. This is Doubloons. I know. Is it? Is this Doubloons? Wow, your eyes are all the way open today. That's weird to see. It's weird to see you with your eyes all the way open. I thought you were going to be a Hal. Never get them all the way open. And then this is Farthing. She's had her eyes open since for a few days now. She looks like a big old teddy bear. She's going through that phase before her ears stand up, you know. Got a very teddy bear face, I know. All right, let's grab the scale. It's all the way over there. I got to put these kids back in with their mom for a second so we can grab that stuff. You may have noticed that we moved the box to the corner of the room. There we go. I haven't yet moved the floor camera over here because I wasn't sure if she was going to continue moving her kittens around. She did that, was it just yesterday? She picked up her kittens and moved them from where the box was right here over to where the box is over here. And so, hi, I know, you're coming for me. Look at that. I put you back in the box. You came out. You're yelling at me. And you're making your mom concerned because she thinks you should be yelling at her, not me. What am I, huh? I know. I just bother you. Okay, sit there for a minute. So anyway, I was saying that Till started to move her kids over into the corner yesterday, so in an effort to get her to settle down, I moved the box over here where she wanted the kittens to be, thinking maybe she would just keep them in the box if I put it where she wanted it. And it seems so far like that's working. I also took the lid off because she seemed like she also wanted them to have an open space. So that's where we are. That's why we're moved over here today. They are so noisy today. Oh my goodness, why are they yelling so much? She's kneading on that marshmallow bed. That's so cute. She gets them to climb up there with her. That would be cute. All right, let's take some weights. Let's weigh some babies. Okay. Now, I just saw somebody ask if there's an adoption schedule yet for the older kids, which is my opportunity to go back to what I was saying about, as far as I know, Dawes hasn't yet mentioned to me that the older kids have adopters. So you should go to our website. It's kitten.academy. And you can apply right there. That's for Raindrop, Sprout, Drizzle. Drizzle, by the way, taken to playing fetch in the last few days. I mean, really good at it, too. I'll throw her a toy, she'll run and get it, brings it right back. She did it, must have been 20, 30 times in a row yesterday before she got tired and didn't bring it back. So that's Raindrop, Sprout, Drizzle, and then also by next week, Wellington and Squall, and also Serenity is ready to go anytime. So all of them, as far as I know, still need their applicants and adopters. And you can do that on our website, kitten.academy, like Andrea Chu and the Twinnemans just posted in chat. Of course, by the time you hear me say that, you'll have to scroll back about 30 seconds in chat, but that's okay, right? What were we doing? We're going to weigh some of these babies. So let's do that real quick. I know, Mom's just overwhelmed. These kids are yelling so much. So annoying. All right, let's start. Let's go in order. We'll start with, this is, the first one is, wait, I'm not going to look. It's Ledger the boy. Come on, focus camera. Focus on Ledger. There we go. So this is Ledger, the boy, number 1. Those blue eyes. And you can tell Ledger from doubloons because doubloons has that nearly full white collar and Ledger does not. Otherwise, they are pretty twinsies. It's just she's got more white than he does. Okay, and he weighs 10.3 ounces. My goodness. RDNSDN, if you are getting an echo, it's because my voice is going out on the regular stream and the close-up. You probably have the regular stream open in the background somewhere. That would be why you have an echo. All right, so that is Ledger, the boy. They all look so floofy right now, but I think they're just going through that phase where they seem extra floofy for a week. And that they will probably end up being short hairs just like their mom. So we already met number 2, who is Farthing. That's Farthing, little girl. That's Farthing is the one that is the twin, nearly the twin of Mom. I think Mom has white and Farthing does not. Farthing weighs 9.4 ounces today. Farthing is in first place for being the most talkative and probably in second place for being the most attentive to me when I come into the room. All right, then we have the third kitten is, I think this one, and you can tell it's a little darker, but also it's got the unique face. It's going to be Quid. Quid, right? Now I have to look to make sure. Yes, okay, I looked at the sheet, but only to verify. Yes, Quid is correct. Quid might have a little bit of a goopy eye. You can see Quid's got the white, like Mom, underneath and on the paws. But also this face with this really distinctive sort of semi-tabby pattern. I don't know what you call that, but it is very distinctive. And 9.6. 9.6. I know I tried to say this the other day and I didn't quite get it. It reminds me of something that's sort of like an ornate metal steampunky mask or something. I don't know. There's definitely something I'm thinking of. With those little white rings around his eyes and those bits that go up and the white spot right down the middle. Anyway, that's Quid. Quid is also a boy, I think. Yeah, that's what we decided. It does, yes. This adds up right now. It looks like a boy to me at the moment. So that's Quid. I just changed the blanket and I see a tiny little poop here. Whoops. I'm just going to toss that in the litter box. There we go. Okay. All right, I think that brings us to the final kitten, the one that has to spend all of her time yelling at me about things. Yes, even before you could see, she was the one that would come as soon as she heard me talking. She would start yelling and trying to find me. And today's the first day she's got her eyes all the way open, so now I think she's going to be disappointed in the person she's chosen. 9.5 ounces, though. We're not disappointed in her weight. It's just right. That's good. Yeah, don't you wish you'd picked a better person, though? Or at least one with more fur? Mwah. It's all right. You always got your mom. So that's little doubloons. That makes all 4 of Till's petty cash kittens. That's what we're calling them. Because, you know, a till's a cash register, and they're all named after, I guess, types of monetary stuff. Ledger's kind of the odd man out there, isn't he? You know, I don't know what I'm thinking of, but I just had a picture in my head of, like, if you could wear brass knuckles as a mask. There's something that looks like that. That's what I'm thinking of. I don't know what it is. Or maybe that's all I'm thinking of. I don't know. There's our lovely Till. I'm so glad to see her looking so bright-eyed. I don't know if you remember the first, the first couple weeks that she was here. Her third eyelid was showing quite a bit. And that's typically a sign that, you know, somebody's not feeling entirely well, maybe a little dehydrated or something. And it's been significantly improved. Of course, as I'm saying that, it's sliding into view because I think that's just because she's closing her eyes a bit. But I'm happy to see her feeling so well and starting to get along with everybody. What a great feeling to know that it might not be long before she's just got the privilege of running around the house, and that's always the best way for us. I'd say it's the least common, though, outcome. It's not a normal thing for mom cats to get along so well. She's so happy right now. Look at those kids nursing. Look at those arms going. Working it. Mom's got a little belly massage happening as part of the deal. Not bad. No wonder she seems so content. Of course, they're going to start getting their teeth in real soon now. Belly massage will take on a whole different tone. Star Hoarder. Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to wash my hands, and the kittens have been touching the poop the whole time, so I don't think there's any trouble of any risk of anybody getting anything that they wouldn't have gotten by me touching the poop. I'm not super precious about those things. I'm going to be fine. You're going to be fine. The kittens are going to be fine. Didn't hurt anybody. I try to not do that with the ones that are like wet and sticky, though. Just the dry ones. Most of the time. It's harder to make little toys out of the ones that are all dry, though. You gotta, it's harder to form. You really need one that's sort of like clay-like, and then you can make these little... I'm kidding. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. That's really gross. I'm sorry. That was a joke. All right. There we go. My goodness, you just never give up. Why don't you go eat some more, though? You should eat. That should be your priority, because you're still the lightest, aren't you? I know. Well, I agree. Yeah, it's okay. Starboard is saying that they were just trying to make a joke, and Megalina's saying, so it's hard to tell sometimes if people are joking or concerned. Yeah, it's true, but it's also, it doesn't hurt that I've responded to something like that sincerely, because even if Starboarder's joking, I'm sure somebody was like, oh my god, I can't believe he touched that. So this just to sort of set their mind at ease a little bit, I hope. And if not, whatever. I'm a kitten foster. That's the least of the things I've touched, believe me. If it makes you feel better, I'm not really that good at making jokes either. Every time I try sarcasm, it turns out to be a bad idea. So eliminating that from my repertoire took a long time. I'm mostly successful. I still get moments where I want to say something that's snarky and sarcastic, and sometimes I don't even stop myself in time. But I'm not good at it, and at a certain point, you just have to be like, all right, I'm never going to be good at this. I should just stop doing it. I hope the microphone is on in the camera, because I've got my headphones on. I don't know where the mic is, but... I hope you can hear these guys nursing a little bit. Let's try. they stopped making all the noises as soon as I got quiet. Look at that nursing dance though. Wow. That's the way. I think Doubloons has always been the most animated nurser too, which maybe is why she doesn't get as much food as everybody else. You know, the first kitten that's had that problem of being a little too active for her own good. Pushing herself right off. She's not doing that right now. I mean, she's fine, but I'm just saying, I've seen her do it. Well, I don't know if I covered everything this morning, but I desperately need to get back downstairs and have my second coffee. I think you can even tell that I need that. So we are going to wrap it up. Thank you for helping me weigh the kittens this morning. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for listening to me bother you about adopting the older kittens. And if you are not the person to adopt them, that's fine. But if you know someone who might be, or who might even just, be someday in the future an adopter, try to point them at our channel if you can. That's what we're all about, trying to get the word out to people that can possibly adopt kittens. So if you help us do that, that's everything we ever wanted. Even if you can't adopt them yourself. I know you're still yelling at me. Why? Do you have so much to say to me, Doubloons? Did you hear me saying I was just getting ready to leave? Well, if you guys have ever wondered what it looks like to be right in there with the little nursing kittens, here's your chance to take Doubloons' spot at the milk bar. We'll end you in the stream with that. You can see just what it looks like if you were participating. All right, this is it. This is what it is. Apologies to